Last week, I was thinking about childhood memories again. There was some spring rain, and it was a little chilly. So, with nothing to do outside, I grabbed a blanket and went to find a book. A lazy, rainy day activity I hadn't done in years. I haven't read in a while, so I had to look in the closet for a book that was suitable. I found an old, musty fantasy paperback from the 80s I must have had for a while that seemed like a good read. Out of this fell an old photo of me as a kid, which got me thinking about the past. Had me thinking about my sister. I hadn't thought about Lucina for a long time either. That photo was familiar, though I remember us being together here. Then the memories began to slowly come back, which I hadn't thought about for a long time. I didn't realize how much I'd simply forgotten about in the bustle of my now busy life. It was really all thanks to Lucina that I should even be thankful I am here today and have the life that I do. When I was little, she would always keep me safe. Bad fortune struck our family, myself included, growing up. My dad got laid off shortly after being promoted due to a jealous coworker who had framed him from stealing from the company. Another time, my mom was robbed as she was taking an old piece of family jewelry to a jewelry store to make some quick money to pay for a much-needed car upgrade after our car at the time got totaled in a hit and run. It was parked at the time with nobody in it, thankfully. But it wasn't always safe for us. I should say safe for me. I got hurt a lot. I would fall into brambles, scratch my leg on the one piece of glass on the ground if I fell. I even found myself in danger with a bear while camping once. However, every time when I was young, Lucina would always be there to help me out. When I was maybe 2, I remember her catching me from falling into a pool at the neighbor's house when nobody was looking. Another time when I was 5, another kid was bullying me and sicking his dog on me. But one look from Lucina, and the dog went whimpering back to the boy and they ran off. Every time I did something foolish, Lucina would tell me to be careful and save me. Eventually, she coached me to be aware of my environment, take care of my scrapes and bumps, and how to stick up for myself. My crowning achievement being when I took a kid by surprise by giving him a bloody nose for taking my cupcake that Mom had packed on my birthday. But at some point, Lucina said she had to go when I was about 8 years old. I was sad and didn't understand. I thought it was strange because I couldn't understand why she had to leave. Come to think of it, I hadn't really thought about it since. Where's my sister? I hadn't thought about her in those intervening 13 years much at all. I decided to call my mom. It had been a couple of weeks anyhow, and she was just trying to be nice and give me some space to enjoy being free and young. But I began to be very disturbed, so I had to talk with her. She was happy to hear from me. I began with the typical pleasantries, but much as Lucina had told me, be clear and get to the point, or else you're just wasting everyone's time. So I came out and asked my mom, whatever happened to Lucina? Silence, and then a trembling voice. I'm sorry. How did you? I instantly felt the dread hit me. I thought so, deep down. Something bad had happened, certainly a terminal illness. It's okay, Mom. I forgive you for not telling me. She was a wonderful sister and daughter. I loved her too. At that point, she broke down crying and hung up the phone after saying, I can't now. Obviously quite concerned, I called my dad on his phone. He didn't answer, probably still in the middle of something at work, but I persisted and called again until he realized it was important. He answered, half concerned and half annoyed. I explained what had just happened. At some point mid-conversation, he cut me off in frustration. Son, what the hell are you talking about? What Lucina are you talking about? I was absolutely stunned. Now I was angry at him. I hung up before I could say anything regretful and sat in silence for a few minutes in that cold, rainy room. My eyes were darting back and forth, trying to make sense of things. I began digging through the box where I'd found the book, looking for perhaps a few more photographs I may have taken with me. Where is she? I said to myself. She's here. I only had a few photos, a couple of me and my parents or my friends, but nothing with my sister. The phone ringing snapped me out of my trance. It was my mom. She had put herself together enough to speak again. This time I took it slow. Mom, is everything okay? She assured me that she recovered and was okay. Mom, I can't find any photos of her. What happened? Again, it seemed I hit a sore spot as she spoke. I'm so sorry I never told you about it. I should have. Your older sister didn't make it to term in my pregnancy. But son, how did you know I wanted to call her Lucina?